I've got tapped for you. Can I do this? Can I do this without getting banned? If you're joining in, I'm having to be very tactful about this room because anything out this shot right here, will instantly get it pulled down. So I tried to do it before. You guys probably haven't seen my face on a video before, so there we go. Nice to see you all again. So yeah, you have to see you streaming. I'm having a shit night. Why are you having a shit night? Let's talk about it. I've got loads of time. If you want to lean on me a bit, I don't mind. Should I turn that light off? Will that make it a bit better? That might be a bit better. Oh, shit. So, again, the first time I tried to do this, leftover work to do. Well, it's work's work, and it. I mean, coming from me, I'm the wrong person to talk about that because, number one, I work a full-time day job, and then as soon as I get home from the full-time day job, I start doing Jaeger Precision stuff. And I'm normally doing that till early hours of the morning, and then I get about 4 or 5 hours sleep, and then I'm back at my day job, and it's rinse and repeat. And the second point, you're saying procrastination is a bitch. I am a chronic procrastinator, so I can fully understand where you're coming from. Sometimes I've done this. I wouldn't say I'm not giving you any advice. I can't really say I'm doing that, but one thing I've tried to teach myself lately is just if I'm sat there and I'm not doing anything, I'm just sort of stagnant. I just keep telling myself, right, just do it, just do it, just do it. I mean, what first thing pops into my head, right, orders need printing off the website, right, just do it, don't even think about it. And you've just got to force yourself because procrastination will absolutely immobilize you. I suffer with it so badly. Hi everyone joining in. Hi DJ, good mate. You, how you doing? Kyle, how you doing? Chat shit, get pissed. Not this time. But yeah, do your own research on it. I mean, I watched a guy on YouTube that was talking about it, and he was saying about these very simple ways that you can try and force yourself through it. So I'll do my best to catch up with your comments. But for those of you tuning in, I tried to do a live stream the way that I normally do my videos, which is the top-down camera with bench, and it just, as soon as I got started talking about it, even though it's got nothing to do with anything that shouldn't be on the live streams, I've been through YouTube's term of service, I've done all that stuff, there is nothing saying that I couldn't be doing what I was doing, but YouTube were just like, nope, and they block the live streams, everything like that. And it would be nice every now and again. I don't know if I'll do it maybe one day a week, one night a week, just jump on and just chat with you guys. We can talk about, I'll probably be doing stuff, but it'll be out of shot, and where the camera is set up, I've had to do it so in such a way that you cannot see the other three walls in this room, because that will get the live stream cut straight away. So yeah, I'm not drinking tonight, work early in the morning. Fair, do you plan on potentially making Jaeger Precision your full-time job? Probably not, just because my daytime job pays my way, and let's say Jaeger Precision got to a point where it could, give me a full-time wage, I would love nothing more than to be at the house messing with airsoft stuff all day. But you got to have goals, ain't you? I want to eventually, I'm not fortunate enough at the moment to have my own house, and that's probably something that I want to work towards and stop renting. But the whole thing's upside down at the minute, isn't it? So I have a question. There was a question about TMWS. Is there much difference between the TMWS and the guns modifying MWS? I don't know. I'm trying to get my hands on a guns modifying MWS so I can compare them. Do you plan on potentially making Jaeger for the job? I've answered that one. Cool. I have a question. When JP MWS hop chamber? No idea yet. I mean, I've just had to reinvest a ton of money into another batch of propane adapters, which it's very expensive, guys. So I'd saved up a ton of money, which was going to be used for next projects. I've got the modular barrel system, the MWS hop unit, the Sentinel suppressor, which I want to get done, but the propane adapters now are ready to go. I just need to do another run of them and get them back on the shelves. I don't know if it'd be possible. Where we going? How is that sweet APC going? The APC is really good. I have had some issues with it. I have put a video up today on the YouTube channel, which is part 2 of looking at that, which just goes over a little few issues, probably a few more that I want to talk about. But again, when I start talking about the APC, it's one of them things where all of a sudden 20 minutes has gone by and I'm like thinking, right, the cap really needs to be about 20 minutes for a video because people do not stay longer than that usually. It's usually in the first few minutes they disappear. Have you thought about doing Discord voice chat? It can do, but I think the thing is, like, the Discord isn't. I've been trying to force people into the Discord, and not everybody likes to use it. And yes, I would very much like to. What would be nice, I don't know if anyone knows how to do it out there, perhaps doing it in a way where I can do Discord and then run it through the live stream. I think I've done it before, so maybe we could do that and we could just chat with different people and get people in. That'd be cool. You can share your camera feed as well. Hey, I've sent an email regarding an order. If you've sent an email regarding an order, I'll probably, if I haven't replied to it, just hang fire or ask the question if you can here, and I'll try and answer it, just because, again, the person that's super busy. Where's that Archie APC 9? I can't show it because the live stream will get pulled. Did you end up finish the MTW build on the last video? Which one? Was it the 4th for Empire or the Strike Industries one? Let me know. APFG MPX or GHM9. They're very different in price. The APFG MPX is absolutely astounding. I love it to bits. I can't wait to finally get my cameras on and start using that thing in a bit of CQB because it absolutely rips. But the APC 9 is slightly edging towards something that I would take out over the GHM 9. But that's just because even though I've got the SD front end on the GHM 9, it's striking the suppressor, so the rounds won't actually come out dead true. So I think I probably need to get a longer inner barrel in it, or get some, maybe make some barrel spacers for the suppressor. I know the feeling. I run my own business and trying to get back into airsoft, but it's just having the time and the money. Yeah, you've got to force yourself. So it gets to a weekend now where I should be out there gaming and meeting you guys and, you know, having some fun on an airsoft field. But you get to the weekend and I've either got to work doing people's commissions, or it's like try and, you know, rest, relax, and try and catch up on a bit of sleep, I suppose. But it's probably one of the reasons why soon I'm going to be dialing back what I take in. So after I've cleared the few jobs that I've got in now, I'm not really going to be doing AEGs anymore. I'm probably only going to be, and I'm talking about work coming in, it's going to be MWSs or GBBRs, MTWs maybe, because people always want that stuff, and then premium, what I'd say like premium electric stuff only, maybe like recoils. The run-of-the-mill electric stuff, I haven't got the capacity for it. Pistols and stuff I'll do as well. Cheers, bro. Loving my propane adapter. Thank you very much. You know, my favourite brand. Well, I appreciate that. See, I always look at my website and what I produce, and I always look at it and think, God, what? It's just empty. There's nothing on there. I mean, there's nothing on there that people really that I think people would find interesting. And then I look at the orders and it just, yeah, it's miraculous. So thank you very much. Used to be able to play some airsoft this weekend. Would be good to get my mind off this week. Yeah, always good to get out. If it's getting overwhelming, just get out. Even just go out and meet a friend at the pub. You know, it literally, I think I spoke about it on the channel before, you know, you get yourself down, and I think it's worse for me now because obviously living by myself now, if I didn't have the pets, isolation just breeds depression. It really is a bit of a killer. So probably the wrong use of word there, but sometimes you just got to get out. I'm waiting for the weather to get better so I can go out and just on the motorbike, because that's what really clears my head. I expected a 6-year-old based on the voice. What, you think I sound I'm about 60 years old? Have you tried the new revised gas system from WE for the ARs? No. I probably will not go down WE tech stuff again unless they build something that's just like, oh, holy shit, you know, got to get my hands on it. How did the MTs go at Rift? Very good. A lot of people were interested to the point where I think they got a little bit annoyed because I got them packaged up and ready. We whacked them on the Empire stand. First time I'd actually met Kenny from Empire Airsoft in person. Absolute legend. I also met a few of the other lads, really bad with names. I can't remember the guy's name who was the caterer. Really sorry if this video ever reaches him, but he was an absolute legend. I met Big Steve Builds, who does pistol stuff, and had a bit of a drunken conversation with him, trying to push him to do content because he does a lot of AAPO1 stuff. That was what he was pushing the weekend. He's an absolute legend as well. Really nice guy. Kenny, absolute legend. And then I met Tactical Doodles. You might have known him, see him on Instagram. He does like, what have I got here? Patches, stickers and stuff like that. I think he did this one for Vortex Optics. Really talented individual. I want to work with him. I want to do like a line of like stickers and patches for the brand. So if you haven't already, go onto Instagram, tactical_doodles. Guy's an absolute really nice lad. I think he's got 90-something thousand subscribers on there. So yeah, again, I want to work. Having met Kenny, I literally travelled, what was it, took 2 hours to drive there, I think it was. And I said to Kenny, I just want to come down and meet you. And I really like what Kenny's about. He's different. In terms of, when you look at airsoft retailers, Kenny, there's something different about Kenny that I think you just click with him. And I like to think that I've got a really good sort of sixth sense when I meet people. Like having met other retailers in the past, I just haven't had it with what I've had with Kenny. So. And he works with all the good people like Sniper Mechanics, Hadron, so many different brands. But yeah, further to the question, the MTWs went up on the wall at Empire Airsoft at Rift. Quite a few people came up and wanted to literally buy them and take them home, but we hadn't figured out any of the pricing yet, so it was really difficult. Kenny couldn't charge someone because we didn't know how much they were going to cost, how much obviously I had to charge him. We've figured that out now, so I don't know if he's going to put them on the website. So if you want custom MTWs, they'll be on there pretty soon. If you want, I can help you out with the Discord. I've had a little bit too much time on there. Yeah, hit me up a message in the Discord. I'll make you a mod and then you do your wizardry, have at it, because I just don't have the time to learn it. Any thoughts on HPA? It's not very popular in the UK. Honestly, go to any airsoft site and you'll see, I would say more people now are using HPA, like premium stuff, than electric stuff. Shift Your Rifts at, was it Redcon? When I was there with Empire, almost every other player that passed the stand was running MTWs or HPA based stuff. So I would say HPA is probably one of the most popular platforms in the EU and the UK. I can't speak for EU countries, but UK definitely. Depends on the country you in Denmark, must be HPA after their first year at Airsoft. Friend Airsoft got the build done for them where he was going to. Yeah, them MTWs are done, yeah. What pets do you have? I have, used to have a lot more. I have cats, so I've got 4 with my ex-partner, Amanda. I think at one point we actually got up to like 6. But me and Amanda split. We lost one in the house move. She took the other of hers over to where she's staying now. So I've got my 2 original, which are Loki and Triss, which if you saw the Chaparrino Easy Shell video, you'll have seen Loki with the Batman mask on. So I've got Loki and Triss, brother and sister. I rescued Thomas when Amanda was struggling with her cancer treatment. So I went and picked up this kitten, this tabby, almost Bengali style cross. And he just got attached to me. It was during like COVID and everything. So I was spending a lot of time at home and literally he sleeps on my shoulder. That's how attached he is. And then Noodle was another rescue, which we were meant to foster and they ended up staying. So I got 4. Love all animals, to be honest. Dog person and a cat person. Just in my path in life, it was cats. So How you doing, Snoop? Met Dave from Dave's Custom Airsoft the other week. Nice bloke. Never met him. You always see difference in opinion from various other retailers. Um, but yeah, if he's one of the greats, then happy days. I can't wait to get my bike sorted, and that's what I do for my own business, doing carbon fiber parts. Yeah, I mean, this week it's been a bit hit and miss. So like the weather will say it's good, and then I don't quite trust it, and then I get to work, and then it absolutely downpours, and it's just. I used to drive my bikes in all weathers, don't get me wrong, but now I'm just a little bit. It's just why be miserable. It's going to absolutely tip it down in rain. I might as well just jump in the car. When the weather's good though, I'm out on that thing. What bike you got? Tell me what bike you got if you got a motorbike. What's an airsoft gun model or replica you wish existed? Oh, I don't really know. I used to have loads. Two, which I think could be interesting. One, I can't mention to you because there's an actual airsoft company producing it at the moment, and I said I'll never say anything until it's released, which is very cool. The other one, I just wish Marui would release the 416 MWS and just make it easy on us all. So yeah, I mean, there's loads of stuff that we could want. I mean, what do we want? What do we want? I feel like we're pretty privileged at the moment. Like for years, we wanted, Marui to do a gas M4 and a gas AK, and now we've got them, and they're not made of plastic, so we can't remember about that. Again, I wish Marui would do a P320, the SIG, because the VFC one is rubbish. I've had a couple of them now. I've tried to use them. They're just not very good. I also wish Marui would work on, or another company, the VP9, H&K VP9. Now, the H&K VP9 was one of the most comfy pistols I'd ever felt in my hand. It was perfect for me. But the VFC, under Umarex brand, I think it was a VFC one. It's one of the worst pistols you can buy. The performance of it was absolutely shocking. Hi Hugh, Four Cats gang. You got Four Cats as well? It's weird. People look. I always get the feeling that people, when you talk about pets, everyone's a dog person, but not everyone's a cat person. And just later on in life, I'm just accepting that I am a cat person. So I've got four. If that door was open right now, they'd be running amok in here. Our propane adapter's coming back. Yes, I've got about 40 or 50 red propane adapters in bits ready to be assembled. I just ran out of springs. So the springs should be with me in the next 10 or so days, and then there'll be another batch of red. And then I've just pressed the button on the next big batch. So new colours come in. So if you're a bit of a collectionist like me, there'll be various amounts of colours coming. There will also be an exclusive colour for Empire, which will be black and orange. So yeah, plenty coming. I've literally just spent all my savings getting another batch done. What do you think of the DEMG Noveski N4 MWS? Very good. You'll see I've done loads of videos on that platform. It's absolutely astonishing. I have actually broke mine because I was messing with a fully wound drum mag, and I smacked it up and I broke the nozzle. But literally, I stand in this room when on the rare occasion I've got nothing to do, I stand in this room with the GBVs and just literally plow all kinds of stuff onto them, smack mags in, just looking for the weak points. So call me weird, but I do like a little bit of rain, probably because I overheat so easily. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind rain. I mean, the worst journey I ever did is when I had Bespoke and I rode from Staffordshire down to London on my CBR 650 Honda. Went down there in the morning, it took forever to get there, and I suffer quite bad with my circulation, so I get pins and needles and stuff in my hand really bad and really quickly, so I had to pull over multiple times to fill up as well. And then when I went back on the night time, it was getting towards winter, so it was dark early. I rode back from London to Staffordshire in the pitch black in a torrential rainstorm. It took me 4 hours, and I was wet through. Got home, took my clothes off, and I was blue, so I literally just stood in the shower. So yeah, I did. That was the first and only time I ever did that. Looking at getting a Mark 18 blowback or electric, what would be better? Well, if you want a Mark 18, you've got two very good choices. Gas blowback by the Marui MWS, nothing else. You will not be disappointed. I've got one. You can follow all the videos on the channel for it. The electric one, get the Marui recoil, or if you're not bothered about the recoil, just go with a reputable brand for one. But to be honest, the recoils are absolutely astonishing. You say you'd kill for a Scar MWS, but Guns Modified are working on one, and they have released video of them testing the prototype, and it looks like it absolutely slaps. So as soon as they release that, I'm all over that as well, because I want a Scar, but you need it to run on a good platform like the MWS. So YZ F750R 1994 custom built FZR 1070cc Street Fighter. What's your bike? So I run a, you can see it on the Instagram page actually. It's a modified KTM Duke 890. I didn't get the R because I didn't really think there was much. The price difference was huge for like Brembo brakes, so I didn't really get the R. But I've completely overhauled it. Mirror deletes, new bar and mirrors, full custom graphics which have got like the Jaeger name on it and my number, and I think SC Project Exhaust. It's an astonishing bike. I've wanted a KTM for a while, but people always said they're really unreliable, and I've known people that are, but this one, I think they've got to the point where they've probably figured out most of the issues, so I bought an 890, and my God, it's an absolute demon, because it's so light with the parallel twin. Have you thought about publishing your 3D files or something like Quartz 3D? Get you one to become safe for your work, so you should definitely put them up for sale. Not at the moment, no. Not when you've invested so much time as me, just to like, because again, you could sell the files on Quartz 3D, people could download them, then they could just redistribute them, and there's nothing stopping that happening, and it probably would happen. So at the moment, no. If it comes later down the line, let's say I discontinue a product and I'm not going to make it anymore, then yes, that's something that I'll do. Great to have met you at Rift. Really appreciate the chat we had about my recently converted HPK rifle and everything else we covered. You're a top bloke. No problem. Thanks for coming and saying hi. It still baffles me that people, like, I consider myself like a small channel. So when people come up and then like they speak to you as if they know you because they watch you online, I still get like a bit of imposter syndrome and think, oh, it can't be real. And the amount of people that come up to me and say, oh, I recognise your voice, but I have no idea what you look like. I like dogs and cats. Had only dogs though. Yeah, people have different paths, don't you? So I'd love a dog, but I don't have the time. It would be cruel for me to have a dog. I've always wanted a German Shepherd, but it'd be cruel for me to have a dog because it would literally be on its own, like so much, where cats really don't care, do they? Name a car for an edit. What do you mean, name a car for an edit? You'll have to delve into that a little bit more. Name a car for an edit. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Please do not judge me, but I hate cats. It's not fine. More people hate cats than they hate dogs. Try dating, you know, since like obviously I've been split up with my partner for a while now. Try going on dating sites where you've got cats and not a dog. Every woman wants you to have a dog. No one wants you to have cats, but you've got to be yourself, haven't you? You can't, I'd never get rid of them. They've literally dragged me through some of the worst. I don't want sympathy or anything like that. We all have our struggles at the end of the day, but you know, they've literally pulled me through some of the darkest moments in my mind, I think. Have you seen the Well Pro PPK20 that uses the TMAK system? No, I haven't. Damn, that sounds like a crazy journey. Hot showers after being in the cold. So nice, so if you never get old. I'll never get enough of. Have you seen the HK 41605 MDS by Guns Modify? Yes, I'm trying to get one at the moment. I don't have no opinions on it at the moment, but I'm trying to get it. I spoke to JK Army because I have a communication channel with them on WhatsApp because they stock my stuff now, and they're going to let me know. So, all nice. Got to love the KTM yet. Only difficult thing with the KTM, I lent into when I had all the graphics done for it. It was black and orange. Try get a black and orange helmet. There's not many places out there you can get it. How's the progress on the MWS heavy buffer? Just taking a back seat to the stuff that's like moving quickly like the propane adapters. I think I have the heavy buffer here actually. Can't really show it because I don't want YouTube to get all aggy. But all the work's done there. I'm just not really sure about the back end of it and what I'm going to do. Whether I'm going to have the weight adjustable, whether I'm not, whether I'm going to have it spring loaded, whether I'm going to have a rubber buffer on the end. Just haven't got that far yet. You guys print stuff. A bit of a print number. So yeah, I mean, I had printers back when Ultimaker. I had an Ultimaker 2 when I first launched Bespoke, like I don't know, 8 years ago. And back then, that was, I would say, was that an entry level printer like Ultimaker 2? I think it was about £2,000, which was expensive, and it wouldn't always work properly. You had to really get to know the machine. Where now, I think it was £1,400 for a Bamboo Lab XC1 carbon package. And literally, you put that machine, you turn it on, and the machine just does it all. Yeah, there's a little few bits you just got to make sure the beds are clear and stuff like that. Every now and again, you'll have a failure, but hit a button, it knows what it's doing. It tracks the PLA, the PLA or the different materials in the AMS module thing, which has got like a multi-spool thing. So it tracks all that. So you literally just hit go and away it goes. Do you think the market would be receptive to a sci-fi style airsoft gun? Most of them are shit, but if there is a well-made one, I wonder if people would buy it. I definitely want some more. So yeah, I think people they've done it. The thing is with airsoft, everyone moans when a company releases a new M4. They're like, "Oh God, another M4," but they don't buy the non M4 models for companies to go, "Oh, people want this stuff." So airsoft companies know they can sell an M4 all day, every day. Yes, I wish there was more sci-fi stuff. I've always wanted one of those. Was that Halo ODST, the SMG? I know there's a guy that built one. I think it's all 3D printed. Phenomenal. I'd love something like that, but got a GHM9 early this year, which turned out to be a complete lemon on Glock mags. Went for an MP9, which I love. Do you think the GHM9 with the MP9 mag lower will make it worth going back to? No idea until we see it. I would very much love for them to drop the MP9 lower, and I would literally just run it on MP9 mags instead, because Glock mags can be a little bit, I don't know, we'll see. If they drop the MP9 lower, I'll pick it up. Remember the videos, did you say I'm making an MWS MPass? Yes. Again, with the MPass, I've got a bunch made that I was going to distribute to people that wanted to test it, and it's just waiting to catch up because everything's hectic in the life, so not sure I'm going to do it on the Discord yet, but basically it's hard to find people that are going to get that part, put it in their MWS, test the living daylights out of it, and give you feedback. Everybody wants to be a product tester, but nobody wants to do the work and giving you the data in return. So it's finding people that you can that will do the testing for you, and just expand on what you've done already. So once I've literally took one of those valves, version of the valve, test it, make sure it works, then I'll open it up. So Skibbity Slicers got Sigma Edge Rizzler with mewing or a drinking grimace shake. I have no idea what that means. Is that like a young person thing? I'm not sure. Redistribution could be an issue for someone outside the UK. The economy of buying and shipping 3D printed parts, you could print them at home, feels like a waste. I'd rather pay for. Yeah, but there's ways that I'm going to be distributing my products to local places to you, so it'd be a lot cheaper. I'm just in talks with Amped Airsoft in the US, so I'm hoping that they can become the US distributor, and then you'll have it locally, and they'll distribute it throughout the US. Now you mentioned German Shepherds. I miss my old boy. I lived till he was 17. It's a good age for a dog. Rescue. Best paid dog I've ever had. Had to put it down because it was cruel to let him keep going. Yeah, it's always a difficult thing with animals, isn't it? Are you Sigma? I have no idea what this person's talking about. I don't have that lingo. Call me old school. I know you've got various vids on them, but what are the chances we get a full AKM AKX review vid from you? Full AKM/AKX review? Have I not done a review already? I feel like I have. The AKM is astonishing, to the point where I'd even say the AKM is better than the MWS. But in terms of manipulation and running it in a skirmish scenario, they don't run as quick as what M4s do. So take this is an example. So I run M4s. I've got M4 pouches. I can run my MWSs. I'm just used to everything going on. I took my AKM out. I didn't have a proper plate carrier for the AK. Took a chest rig. I was fumbling the mags. But the system in the AK, I would honestly say, is as good as if not better than the MWS, because you can literally just run the AKM full auto, mag after mag after mag, and it just runs. It's an absolute train. So if you're thinking about getting an AKM, TM AKM, do it. You won't be disappointed. You think you'll go into the G&G lever? I'm not a massive G&G fan, to be honest. I just don't like the way that they design stuff. It's just too funky and weird, and I don't know. Perhaps if it comes out and it's miraculous and people love it, then I'll do it. But loving the revolver content lately. Thank you very much. I was actually meant to have 2 more revolvers delivered today, but UPS have scuffed up the delivery, saying they couldn't find the address, even though they delivered here not long ago. And yeah, revolvers. It's getting out of control. It's turned into an obsession. But I'm calling it there. So what have I got? 2 Rhinos, 715, and the 629. Trust me. And then I've picked up another 2 Umarex ones. They do one called the Competitor, which I picked up, and they do just like a normal Smith & Wesson 629. So I've got one of them as well. Just subbed. Thanks very much. Got any opinion on the VFC FNC? No. It's insanely expensive, like £800. Come on, VFC. It really doesn't need to be that expensive, does it? It's just ridiculous. And VFC like gas rifles, to this point, I haven't had any good luck with at all. Like, you could say, oh, you must have got a lemon, but am I consistently getting lemons every time I order something? Who knows? X1C is a beast. Yeah, it's very good. Got a P1S and auto leveling is god tier. Yep, 100%. What's your least favourite Marui riff? Ooh, least favourite Marui riff. Not too sure on that one. I mean, I'm not a fan of the electric stuff anymore. It's just a bit boring. Have they ever made something that's bad though? Really? I mean, I don't want to go down the whole TM fanboy because I'm not a TM fanboy. Well, I suppose I am a little bit, but have they made anything that was bad? I really don't think they have. Nothing that comes to mind anyway. Least favourite is something that I least use. I don't know. The L96, just because I think I had one years ago when it first released, but then I've never used one ever again. So I suppose that would classify. Could you make a speed loader for the VFC M4 GBVR like your MWS ones? Yes, I could, but I would need a magazine to do it, which I don't have because I'm not buying any more VFC stuff just because it just doesn't work. But if someone could get a mag to me, then 100% yes, I'd make one. Have you ever had a chance to look at the new light variations of the TAC 41? Now, it's funny you should mention that. If not, do you think you'll cover them or do a video on one of the cheaper models? Now, I saw the TAC 41 light at Shifty Rifts on the Empire stand. Very, very interesting compared to the start of the TAC 41. Wasn't as smooth as it probably should have been, should it? But I did, probably talk about it a bit too early, but I did have an email off Silverback not long ago, basically asking if I wanted to collaborate with them on the TAC 41 light. And then they actually praised me for the stuff covering the MDRX and said that my content helped them improve the MDRX, which I was like, am I dreaming right now? Is this actually happening? So I responded back to their email. I was like, yes, 100% love to work with you. You guys know I'll stay unbiased anyway. But, if you want to reach out and do something, then let me know. Since then, I've had nothing from them. So maybe they decided not to. Just bought an A1. First printer, so I'm super excited. The Bamboo Lab stuff is absolutely phenomenal. How did Jaeger Precision start? Jaeger Precision started when I was Bespoke 2.0. So when we moved it from its very early days to when it went down to like London way, um, with my business partner, he was pushing more. I was like bespoke airsoft, these bespoke stuff. So niche, high end builds, what you'd expect the word bespoke to mean. And I knew the brand, the products. I knew how what I was doing technically, but running the business at the start, I really didn't know what I was doing. So then I partnered up with this guy, and we took bespoke into the mainstream as what it probably not what it is today, but what it was when I was there. Um, and we became more of like, this is probably the worst way I could put it. So don't think I'm having a dig at them, because I'm not. But it became more of a box moving company. We were just stock in, stock out, trying to get guns in, guns out, and all the other accessories. And there was a period of time where I just missed doing like niche stuff, custom stuff, custom services, delving into that obsession that like started it with me. Um, and because I hadn't done that for a long time, that's when I started Jaeger Precision, just to be that Bespoke Airsoft at the time was my company and what I was doing day to day, but Jaeger Precision was like my obsession with airsoft and doing all the funky stuff, and that's how it came to be. So I was doing both at the same time. Jaeger Precision really low effort. I wasn't really doing much with it, and then we started doing like the Cerakote laser work, stuff like that, which a lot of people are cotton onto now, and they're all doing the same stuff. Um, and then when I obviously came away from Bespoke, like Jaeger Precision just got all that spare time that I had just injected into it, and then it just literally flew off. So hell yeah, getting AMP to distribute would be great for us in the States. Honestly, the best thing you can do now is go and tell AMP to to reinforce the relationship between us. So they want to know more about me. Obviously, I've talked to them through Kenny at Empire. He kind of got the ball rolling with the communication. But yeah, tell AMP what you want on the shelves of mine, and because they're new to my brand, so they don't really know how to sort of process it yet. So I've told them what the high seller stuff is. But yeah, go hit up AMP and tell them to stock the stuff. I'm sure they'll appreciate that. How much do you spend in a month on airsoft? Is most of it a business expense for your, or like half and half? I buy a lot of stuff. To be honest, you could probably call it not a business expense, but you could it's all like reinvesting. So like the revolvers, for instance, I bought one and then I started doing bits and I started designing stuff. And then these companies keep producing these really nice gas replicas, so I just keep buying them. So I'm unfortunately in a position where, I've said this many times before, my day job is very good for me. Obviously, I'm on a high wage, so I have a lot of disposable income. And again, I just go off on a tangent. I start buying stuff late at night, and yeah, it gets out of control. But that being said, when I was running Bespoke, I was on probably less than minimum wage, and I still found ways to do this or do that to get a bit of money in, or recycling old stuff that I had, selling that off, and just injecting it into new stuff. It's an obsession. Probably, how much do I spend in a month? I really don't want to answer that question. I don't think I want to know myself. But yeah, if the money's there, I just literally buy new stuff. So would you consider Artrix L119A2 MWS after buying the APC 9? Yes, but I've heard it's very expensive. So for that reason, probably not. I'm not a massive L119 fan, to be honest. I get the popularity behind it, but for me, it's not something that I need to go out and buy. So, but I do want a 416 that works on the MWS platform, and Guns Modify have done one, so I'm hoping to get that instead. So, which sites do you play at? I mean, I'll play anywhere if I've got the time. Recently, I've been joining James up at Phoenix. That's a pretty good site. I do want to get out and try more places. I think the next event for me will be, if you haven't heard of it before, it's an event called Gangster City, run by West Mids Airsoft and a few other companies. And it's a really wacky event. Many of you might not like it, but it's like a weekend event where it's like gang warfare. So you've got all these factions, but it's just nobody takes it seriously. Everyone has a laugh. People are doing really weird and wacky stuff there. It's a brilliant event, and I think the booking opens up on the 7th, which is in 2 days for it. And I'm going to go. There are going to be other people that have asked me to go as well. So what I'll probably do is say, if you guys want to do that event and you want to join me, I'll whatever team we pick, you're more than happy to tag along with us and just have a blast, because it's an absolutely stonking event. It's very laid back. So any chance for more OEM TM spare parts like Truebox or Bulkhead Group say in the future? Yes. So got a small batch of it in for just through somebody I know. It wasn't cheap, which I put it on the website. It wasn't cheap at all, but it just helped people out if they were looking for certain parts. So yes, I will be doing hopefully more of that in the future if I can get my hands on it. Hi Fiok, I hope I've said that correctly. Fan from Italy, welcome. Do you support the LGBT community? I mean, I don't have problems with it. I mean, I think the thing is, this is going political now, so I'm going to steer away from this in a minute, but I don't think there's need to say, like, I've got to be careful, haven't I? I don't have a problem with anybody. You do what you want to do. Anybody can be whatever they want to be. I haven't got a problem with that. What I have a problem with usually is people pushing like agendas and making you think that you should think a certain way and forcing that on you. So if we can all live and let live, I don't put a label on absolutely anybody. So I've met people from all walks of life, and this again, it's a good point, because people have told me that I shouldn't be friendly with certain people. A good example for this is Mustang. Kicking Mustang, pisses off a lot of people. He gets a lot of hatred, but he's a very popular person. And I've had people come to me including people that I've known for over a decade, and tell me that I should stop affiliating myself with him. Why? The guy, to me, obviously I know him outside of that little Kicking Mustang bubble. I know him as James, and I get on with him really well. That being said, imagine there's an imaginary fence here. I've got James Kicking Mustang on one side. I'm really good friends with him. Does he create controversy on the internet? Of course he does. That doesn't make me feel any different about him. I don't have to always think 100% the same way as what he does. But on the other side of the fence, I've got friends that I've known for over a decade who are running hate groups for him. So I'm like in the middle. But I think you should always, and this is what I think what a lot of people get wrong, I think you should always have friends of people in different groups from different, backgrounds, different ways of thinking. I don't necessarily agree with either of them on everything, but that's the beauty about it. I think people are so scared about getting offended these days. Just, have a conversation. I can have a conversation with someone that I don't necessarily like, but it's always good to have a different opinion. Sorry, I'm getting back on topic now. Sorry about that, guys. Would you ever consider doing a sniper build? What do you mean by that, Gus? I've done sniper builds before. How quick would you buy an MDR GBB? Is it made by Silverback? I'd love one. I would love one. I bought the Calibre Lithgow Arms F90, which is like an AUG. Haven't used it yet, but if they did a gas blowback MDR, yeah, I'd be all over that. The street's saying you boggle. Why is it these weird comments? Is it just people coming in like off the live that are random? I really don't know. Say sloppy poo. Sloppy poo. Hi. Just bought a program adapter. Can't wait for it to arrive. Have you made any progress on the suppressor silencer? Not yet, but again, I've just had to reinvest all the money in the new propane adapters. It's not new. It's nothing different. It's just a new batch of them. So once that's caught up, then I'll start the suppressor stuff again. Oil up, I'd be there in 5, little bro. Oil up? No idea what these people are going on about. Thank you for answering. Appreciate all the videos and learned a lot. Watching from the Philippines. Welcome from the Philippines. We'll buy some specialized parts from you for my riff soon. Thank you very much. Hey man, watched a load of videos when I bought my first UBR, the Noveski M4. Thanks for tuning in, Paul. Again, this is just a random live stream. This is not something that I usually do. I was just seeing if it literally was what I was filmed in the last live stream that got it pulled down pretty quick. When my eye turn run red. No idea. Do you refill your Coleman's propane bottles? I did experiment with it, but the refilled you can do it, and I was actually filling more propane in the bottles than what comes on from the shelves. It just didn't run the same. It ran dirty. None of the guns worked properly. So where can I find the Discord? You can find the Discord link in the description of every single video I've posted for the past, God knows, month or so. So it's always in the description. Any new bits or parts in the pipeline for the Toxic MCX series? Don't think so. I don't think it really needs anything. Obviously, the hop unit will work with it. So that'll be good news. I've also modelled up a hop adjuster. But again, it's gauging whether it's worth the investment to make a hop adjuster. Does it really need making? Yes, he's correct. Started modding GBB videos. Thank you very much. I mean, I just love the fact that I can post stuff on the internet and people find it and then they start, doing the passion, the hobby, not so much the gaming and the skirmishing and, shooting airsoft guns at other people in a controlled environment, of course, YouTube. I just love the fact that people are getting involved in the tech stuff. So that's predominantly where I come from. I was teching airsoft guns before I'd even got to an airsoft field. I just bought one off the website, turned up, I took it apart, wanted to know how it ticked. And I think I turned up to my first airsoft game on my own. Luckily bumped into a absolutely legendary group of individuals that took me in with an airsoft gun that looked very basic, but it was really, really good for a first gun. Are you going to seek an ADHD assessment if you haven't already? As someone with ADHD, I see the signs in you. Yeah, I've seen this before. ADHD and what was another one? I was speaking to someone at a wedding, I think, and they said I might have might be a slight bit autistic. So yeah, I think I've said this to people before. I can understand complicated things really easy, but there's sometimes the simple stuff I struggle with. And yeah, I do think I have a case of the ADHD, but I wouldn't even know where to go for an assessment on that, or if it would even change anything really. What do you think the best hop-up chamber is for the MWS stock or aftermarket? I have one of your nubs in the stock one at the moment. So the stock hop chamber is very good. With the nubs, very good. Flamingo and a nice barrel. You're off to the races. It's bots for sure. Yeah, I think it is. They always come in and say like weird stuff. I'm really not too sure, but I'm not sure if like YouTube will shove this in people's like shorts feed, and then the crazies sort of come in and start just saying random stuff. Would you ever consider doing a custom high capper build? Didn't see anything about high cappers on your playlist page, but you may have done already. Yeah, high cappers is a really big rabbit hole. I used to build custom high cappers after I'd had one built by Elite Shooting Center, was it? But it's just it's such a minefield with parts now. I think if there's people out there that specialise in it, they'll probably do a better job than I would. Sniper build, base VSR, fully upgrade custom stock or another brand. So yeah, I've done a TAP 41. If you just talk about builds on the channel, I've done a TAP 41 build. I've done various striker stuff, which probably isn't sort of predominant on this channel. It would have been more the old channel, but if this thing kicks off with Silverback and they want to work together, we'll be doing the TAP 41 Lite. And I've also started buying parts in because I want to build another SRS. I know everyone hates on the SRS because everybody uses it, but I built a few SRSs over the years and I haven't had one for a while. And the whole reason I want an SRS, if I'm honest with you, all my guns are like really high spec. On the TAC 41, which is in front of me, really high spec. It's got all the parts on it, but I don't want to paint it, so it kind of sticks out like a sore thumb because it's all black. So I want to build an SRS just for the fact that I'm just going to cover it in camouflage and just, if I want to go and be sneaky, have a rifle that I'm not really bothered about rubbing in the dirt and stuff like that. So the light could be something that we do with that as well. You answered a lot of my questions in your videos that I couldn't find anywhere else, such as what mags work in the Noveski, etc. Well, glad I've helped, Paul, if I have. Do you speak Polish? I don't speak Polish, unfortunately. Only the Queen's English, but You know, people probably speak the Queen's English much better than I do. Any idea of a better hop units for the Noveski bud? Hate how you change the hop. In terms of like the little wheel, because I know there's a couple that you can use like a flathead screwdriver. I think T8 do one. It's like a spiral screw, but you use it like a flathead screwdriver. I was actually talking to Hadrian about this, about doing a hop unit when I was designing my hop unit and doing something like a TDC. He was like, do you think, because obviously he does one for the AAPO1, where it comes with a little like drill bit where you can drill the AAPO1 and have a TDC. And I said, the thing is with people in the MWS community, they're probably not going to want to take a drill bit and drill through their MWS. It's just, the feeling that I get, I might be wrong, is people won't want to do that. But yes, the problem is that in Italy we have a 1 joule limit. So we're pretty much the same here. You know, we're not crazy high powered. Obviously we've got Ireland as well. I think they have to be under a joule. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Eric. Hi, Brian. How's it going? Haven't seen you in the chat for a while. Do amazing tech work. Thank you, Brian. For those that don't know Brian, he's been bringing me his guns for a very long time now. A very early supporter in me and what I do. How is it to change the end pass, or is it called end pass? So my end pass for the MWS that's upcoming is very easy. You just put an Allen key through the opening in the nozzle, the front of the nozzle. You just turn it. So there's basically I've modelled it in CAD, so where it sits on the rear section inside, so you don't have to take the valve out of the bolt carrier. You could just do it as and when. So you probably want to pull the bolt out and just give it a turn. There are Allen keys out there that people have done where you can do it while it's still in the rifle, but I'm really not too bothered about that. It doesn't take long to pull the bolt carrier out. Dropped your DM on Discord, Jaeger. Also, what's your favourite drink now? I'm making a comment. What's your favourite drink now? Making a comment. In terms of alcoholic drink or just, you know, standard beverage? What am I drinking today? I'm drinking Iron Brew today, but no alcohol for me tonight. What I found is Iron Brew is really good with a bit of Disaronno. But I have got like a family thing this weekend. So Saturday I'm down at my brother and sister-in-law's. And yeah, they want me to sort of get on it because apparently when I've had a lot to drink, I'm quite entertaining. So we'll see how that goes. Does anyone know where a good place is to buy a stock MWS hop unit? The one in my DN4 is trash and binds up badly when the barrel nut is tightened. Stock ones, I don't really think there's any avenue for them at the moment. I'm trying to, but if you're patient, when my hop unit drops, I'm hoping it'll just be a ready off the shelf. This is a very good part to fit in your MWS. Just bought an MWS bolt weights. Looking forward to installing it. Thanks, Gus. Is it 1 joule for all guns in the UK? I thought Germany had shitty gun laws. I feel like that would make most fields CQB-ish. No, in the UK, it's sort of like, it's just over a joule, I think, for anything that can shoot full auto. Anything semi-auto, so anything that doesn't have full auto, in terms of like a legality standpoint, I think we have up to 520 feet per second. But most sites, which I found was weird at Shift Your Rifts, they were letting DMRs run at 500, which at 2.3 joules, which was, I've never known that before. But usually DMRs, you know, about 1.5 to 1.8 joules, and then bolties are 2.3 joules. Does that work on the Noveski, the M-Pass thing with the Allen key? Yes. It's not released yet, but yes, it will. You can actually do yourself a DIY M-Pass. There's a video on the channel about it where I think I do it in the Noveski, and you just need like a 2.5 mil drill bit and a grub screw, and you can do it yourself. The only problem with the DIY method is you have to pull the valve out to adjust it. But once you've adjusted it, it's not going anywhere. Is the bolt carrier group on the new SIG M6 Spear made of steel or aluminium? Is the bolt carrier group on the SIG M6 Spear? If you talk about the Toxicant one, I think it's stainless. I think it's like a stainless steel with like a black oxide finish, because it's not magnetic, but it definitely isn't aluminium. It's definitely a heavy material. So yeah, I do like my M6 Spear. I wish I could show all this stuff to you. There's so much cool stuff in this room that you probably haven't seen before that I could show you, but I can't because I just get the video pulled down. So What's the best one-stop shop for replacement MWS, AKM, AKX O-rings, gas routers, and other wear parts? Best one-stop shop. There probably isn't a best one-stop shop. I mean, the up-and-coming shop to keep your eye on for parts and stuff would be Empire. That's what they're going to be moving into. Instead of selling like rifles and stuff, they're going to be like focusing on parts. So your Empire, which I'd recommend if they don't have it in stock. There's various other places in the UK. Predominantly, the biggest one for MWS and AKM parts is probably Fire Support, if they've got it in stock. So they do a lot of stuff on there. But yeah, hopefully we can change that with Empire soon. APFG, APFG MCX Sphere. I don't know. My APFG MCX went straight back because it just didn't function. So I took it back and then I bought the Toxicon. What's your favourite build? Favourite build? I really don't know. There's so many. I do like my Geisley MWS, which I think I've shown before. It's like a DMR based Geisley, but I've literally just built a shorter Geisley upper for my Mark 18. I really like Geisley stuff. It's one of them brands that I really like. I did like building the Strike Industries MTW. It would have been nice at the same time if I could get another handguard and such, build the exact same setup, or it might come to the point yet where I strip all those parts off of the MTW and make an MWS out of it, because I really like the Strike Industries build that I did recently. Watched KM's video today. What a beast. Am I right? That's your tech work in action. No, that shotgun he's actually done most of the stuff on, I think. But yeah, he's running like a AirTac HPA adapter. And I did message him when I watched the video. I was like, that shotgun's like insane. Even if you haven't been to Phoenix before, it's an outdoor site. It's always long engagements compared to short engagements, and it was capable. So I think Saigers are going to be out of stock everywhere now, because I wanted a Saiger and I was speaking to AirTac about getting their adapter and just running it on M4 mags on HPA. But we'll see. We'll see. Favourite build of yours? Sorry, I think I did answer that. Again, favourite builds, if you didn't see that Ares 308 I did, which some lucky viewers got now, I don't think I'll ever build another one of them. That had like 50, 60 hours worth of laser engraving in it. It was one of a kind. That was very cool to do, but it was a lot of hard work, a lot of sleepless nights. I see, similar to yours then. We only got full auto up to 0.5, but legally you could go to 7.5 joules. Fields usually only allow your ARs to 1.5 and Cypers 2.5. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? Do we need that much power? That's the thing. Always goes back to like the terms of Tokimori. Tokimori guns were always lower powered compared to all the other brands, which people used to slate on them a lot, but they would shoot better because the quality of them was a lot better. So I'm gonna have to have a drink because I'm talking that much. My throat's getting dry. What's wrong with your Titan nub? Must watch too many of your videos. Yeah. I appreciate it though. I don't think, and I mean this, guys, I don't think you'll find another YouTuber that appreciates every single person that tunes in and watches, because I just do it for the love of it. Honestly, if I didn't love what I was doing, I'd be mad, because I spend so much of my time just buying stuff and recording it, so you guys don't have to, like buying the Archwick APC 9K to feature it, when it's literally just to show you guys what it's like, and then you can make the decision whether you like it or not. What's your opinion of Londonderry? Do you like people that live in London? I've got no problems with everybody that lives in London. When I had the shop just outside London in Slough, majority of the people that used to come in the shop were very friendly. Everybody thought my accent was funny. A couple of customers bought me t-shirts with the Peaky Blinders on, because they thought I sounded like I was from Peaky Blinders, which I'm kind of from the right area, but I always say this to everybody that I meet. Everyone, like, I don't think I've got an accent that's worth like mentioning or even acknowledging, but a lot of you guys seem to say that it's quite the opposite way. So where I'm originally from Birmingham, but if you was to meet someone like with a strong Birmingham accent, they'd probably tell you that I have a very not strong Birmingham accent. But then I go elsewhere and people are like, God, you know, the Brummie in you. My TMAKM gas mag easy load arrived in the mail just now. Gonna test it right now. Give it a test. Make sure when you fill in, you need to press the adapter down on the top of the mag. Just saw the corner of your stand. Realise you have the same stand as me. Corner of my stand. What stand? You shouldn't be able to see anything. Can you see more? Corner of your stand. You realise you have the same stand as me. Also a massive fan of Geisley. My entire MWS build is centred around G-Park. Man, I love Geisley as well. Any ideas when the TM Glock series, specifically Gen 4 and 5, have completely disappeared from the UK market? Copyright. You know, a lot of companies now won't touch anything Glock related unless it's an official product, just because you can get in trouble for having it in your shop. Best thing to do, there are shops that you can get it from. So I think my Gen 4 I bought from Fire Support, which I was worried that all the trades were going to be like took off, but it was okay. Two shops I like to use abroad. WGC. I really like WGC's website. The whole website. That is how I would want the bespoke website if I was still there. The website is just, I love navigating it. It's really easy. New products, what's showing, you know, what's new, like, you know, to me that I haven't seen before. Restock tab, what's back in stock. It just works. JK Army also have a very good broad range of stuff. I'd probably say they have more of a broad range of WGC. The website's not as nice to navigate, but those two companies, WGC and JK Army, of course, we're working with JK Army now. Those are the people I go to. There may be other shops in Hong Kong and in that neck of the woods that do have a good stock and do have good service, but you know, I tend to stick with what I know. Extremely high demand for the Gen 5. It's pre-ordered everywhere in Europe. As for the Gen 4, not sure, but Jaeger might know. Although Gen 4 is quite high demand. It's probably the Gen 5 as well. I was hearing a lot of reports of the Marui Gen 5 MOS of them breaking. I saw a lot of pictures of the barrel snapping and stuff. So Marui might be making changes and just doing a revised thing and then holding back on the next batch. Because I've been trying to get a Gen 5 MOS for ages now. Doing good, bro. Hope you're in a better state mentally of the vids. Thank you. Yeah, I think so. I mean, I came across one of my old bespoke videos the other day when I was in the shop, and I'm in this tight t-shirt. I've got a completely shaved head because I think the barber's messed my haircut up, so Manda just absolutely shaved my head off. And I looked a chonk. I didn't look in the best of health, but I was doing all that commuting, and now I'm still a chonk, but I think, you know, I'm a bit more filled out because of my day job. So I'm using obviously a lot more of my body muscle compared to sitting in an office doing stuff on the website all day. So thanks for that. I'm really itching for the Archery APC 9, so I'm glad you got it finally. Sadly, it's not yet available here. It should be available pretty soon. I was actually quite surprised that Nelson from Archery reached out to me within like 12 hours of the video going live. That was mad. I'd love to work with companies like that, but you know, come on, get on board, send the stuff in. I don't want anything from you other than the product itself, only because I'm limited to how much stuff I can order in, and we'll cover it and we'll get people going on it. I mean, how can you imagine how many Toxican MCXs I've sold for them? The amount of people that tune into my video was like, oh, the Toxican MCX, I need to go buy one, the Spear, the Rattler, and then they've gone over to Toxic websites and bought one. And I was quite cheeky with Toxican. I was like, do you want to send me one of your trigger packs and we'll feature it on the channel, just being a bit cheeky. And they have sent me one, but they've sent it for the MCX. I was hoping to get one for the MWS, because the MWS trigger box is the one that really needs spicing up. The MCX triggers are already pretty good. Big up Birmingham, the city that breaks but has the best nightlife. I mean, I haven't been out in Birmingham for a while now, so it might be very different compared to what it was like when I was out and about. Which airsoft toy do you take to bed the most? I'm not answering that. Reeks. The city that reeks but has the best nightlife. It's not that bad, does it? But I'm not in Birmingham anymore. I'm north of Birmingham, so Staffordshire. You can see a little inch of your gun stand. The wooden ones, yeah. There's a company not far from me that produces them, and I called them up one day and I was like, "Can I come and get one?" And they were like, "Yeah, come and get it." But I got it made a little bit too tall. I need a shorter one. And again, that's always full. That wall is absolutely plastered. There's stuff all over the wall, top to bottom. And then there's also stuff just everywhere. I need more space. It's just affording it, isn't it? But I hoped it was just demand. Just was curious as I saw a few EU only TM part numbers. I don't know about the legitimacy of that. I hope that TM hasn't made it EU specific. But TM, okay. TM doesn't make stuff for anywhere outside of Japan, as far as I'm aware. And I've been told this by people in Japan. So I'm not saying it's true, but I'd take their word for it because they're over there. TM, Tokyo Marui, makes parts for the Japanese market. And that's how they get around all this copyright and trademark stuff. They make products for the Japanese market. As far as I'm aware, TM do not export outside of Japan. That being said, they probably ship to shops and then those shops or distributors then ship it out of Japan. But I'm pretty sure TM as a company is Japan only, and then other companies take care of it and get it around the world. So correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm just saying it from a source that I trust in Japan. You look like you gonna say Bravo 6 going dark. I said that on stream once. I actually managed to pull off like my best ghost impersonation, and it actually came out pretty good. But then since then, I think I've been drinking. I haven't been able to do it since. But yeah, I think it's the gruffness in my voice because I'm talking a lot. Cheers, I'll take a look there. Have you had any hands-on with the AKX? AK, no. But I was talking to Kenny at Empire because I was like, there was going to need some trade negotiation going on for all the MTW stuff. And I was like, rather than just sending me, me sending you a bill for all the MTW stuff, I need stuff. You've got stuff. Let's work it out. So I think he was going to get some more in. And then I'll cover the AKX on the channel because I know it's going to be an absolutely astonishing product. Anyway, you look like Captain Price. I don't look like Captain Price. Nah. It's only because you can see my face on. I imagine I look very different from the side. Big head, hair thinning. You know what it's like. What's your day job? Do you ever plan to do Jaeger Precision full time? I already answered that question, but my day job is for a company called Car 360. I do PDR. So PDR is basically paintless dent repair. So I repair panels to try and save them from having to be painted professionally. My brothers obviously run this company. They approached me at a time when I was getting a bit annoyed with what my situation at Bespoke, because I put all this time, put 8 years, 6 to 8 years of my life into Bespoke, and I was still earning less than minimum wage. And obviously at the time I had a business partner, so it wasn't like I could just pull money out. It wasn't like that. So I decided I was having a lot of stress. The commute, I was having 6 hours a day in a car commuting to and from work. No, to and from work. So they offered me a place. They knew how good I was technically. So I started there. They wanted me to get into PDR. Now PDR is a really high wage. Some people out there are earning hundreds of thousands a year. Obviously I don't own that, but yeah, it's where was I going with that? So it's a really high paid job if you can get the right thing. Now I don't go out and have to find the work. So we bought Car 360 buys cars in. Now Car 360, we specialize now in like electric vehicles. So the car will come in. If there's damage on the panels, you can almost refer to it like panel beating, but if there's damage on the panels that I can fix, great. If it saves a ton of money for the company. If I can't fix it, then it has to go for paint. So that's what I do. I trained up. I'd never worked in a car body shop before. I'd never done PDR before. I was very fresh to it. The training that I had for PDR was 4. I was meant to have 5 days training. I actually got 4. It was very simple training, like here's a tool, this is what you do, and then just got thrown into it. And literally over the past year or two, I've had to teach myself it. There has been instances where there used to be a guy at the same business and I used to pick little things up off him, but for the past full of year and a half, I've had to train myself to do it. So, you know, they're saving money because they were bringing in a specialist to come and do this work, paying them extortionate amounts of money, but now they don't have to run it because my brothers own the business. I'm related to them. They know that I'm loyal to them and I'm not going to just disappear anywhere after they'd spent the money going on this course, we actually didn't need in the end. But you're sending me down rabbit holes, guys. I'm going to try and keep it slightly, even the slightest bit interesting. So you should start streaming on Twitch. They'll allow your airsoft toys there. Will they, though? Will they? It's a little more complicated, but I can show you some stuff on Discord later if you do consider. Yeah, 100%. Will they allow airsoft on Twitch? It's mad because I didn't get it, because I can upload 2 videos to YouTube and these videos are identical. One can get monetized and the other one can't, and they'll ban it, and you put it in for review and they'll go, no, you can't monetize this, but you have the exact same video that is monetized. It's so just randomly judged. I think for an airsoft as a hobby, YouTube needs to acknowledge it as its own category. Any thoughts on the GHK Glock Gen 5? I did really want one, but I think I fell out of love with my GHK Glock a little bit after going back to a TM1, just because the TM1 just absolutely dominates in terms of performance. The GHK one is nice. Does it perform as well as a TM? No. Does it function really nice? Yes. They're super expensive as well. I don't think I need another one now. Could I sell my GHK Gen 3 and get a Gen 5 instead? Yeah, I might be interested in that. Who knows? Any thoughts on negative airsoft? What do you mean on that? Thoughts how? I'm asking you that question first before I answer, just so I don't get myself in trouble. Hopefully you'll be getting my T10 build soon to do my HPA conversion. Yeah, hit me up, Brian. We'll get it sorted. Just get a bucket hat and a greyish outfit and you'll look and sound just like him. So you say that. I appreciate that. I'm going to take that as a compliment. I'm glad you think so. Yeah, I do need... The thing is, my head's massive. So whenever I try and get like a boonie hat, it never seems to fit. Hi, James. Just wondering if you looked into the lower parity of the TM Sligo SBS. I'm looking to buy and hesitant because of this. I think a lot of people are struggling with that now. I've seen a lot of people putting longer barrels in and it not fixing it, so I'm not sure. However, that TM Sligo went back to James, so I don't have it anymore to look further. Apparently 20 degrees here in England is classified as the heat wave. So you say that, but like not last year, the year before, we had that heat wave where it got to 40 degrees and it was uncomfortable to say the least. It was horrendous. I remember we kept going home early because it was literally too hot to work. We aren't equipped here in the UK for 40 degrees. We don't have air conditioning in every room like they have in the US and everywhere else. What's your opinion on the MPA 930 DMG? MPA 930 DMG? Not sure what that is. What is that? MPA 930 DMG. Not sure what that is, Q. I've seen plenty of airsoft YouTubers show their stuff on their notably names Nico's kit packing streams. Twitch, that is. Yeah, I mean, I'd try it. I do have a Twitch account, but you know, it'd be interesting. Just say patience. Don't do anything stupid. Patience. Don't do anything stupid. What was it the thing they used to say for Ghost? Was it no one gets left behind? Something like that. Used to be able to do it very well. Can't anymore. I was dead by 20 degrees, but 40 degrees. I said to my teacher, "Listen, I want to go home," and he said the same. Yeah, it was deadly. The MPA 930 DMG is a pretty cool pistol. I'm not sure what that is. I'm betting the guy above talking about negative wants to know if you think he's a... Anyone who's met Luke in person knows he's a lovely guy. Now, again, this goes back to the point that I said earlier about personas that you see online and what people are actually like in person, because they're two very different things. And that's probably the only avenue where I think I differ myself from others. What you see is what you get. This is how I am. To be honest, I think sometimes... No, I don't know where I was going with that. So, do I agree? I have watched Luke's stuff before, and I've seen like him covering a certain brand, for instance, one that I think he portrays out to be worse than it is. So, context. Let's say he's covering X rifle. I've got, let's say, like in the past, I thought this. I've got extensive experience with that platform. He rips it to shreds, calls it everything, all the names under the sun, and I'm sitting there like, that's really misleading. But I also think that Negative Airsoft, that's his persona. He's like, you're going to that YouTube channel because he's Negative Airsoft. He's saying negative stuff about a lot of things. I mean, the names in itself. I've heard he's a very nice guy in person. I've never had the pleasure of meeting him. I'd like to think that he's a nice guy. So that video style, it's not for me. I hear he's a very good tech, so there is that. And bear in mind this goes both ways. I've had guns on the bench that have been to him, and probably found things wrong with a certain way that it's been done. But that could be said about anyone. I could have worked on something that I know is absolutely 100%, and it could have gone to someone else, and they could have ripped it to shreds. So, trying to be very careful. I don't really want to annoy anyone for the sake of annoying anyone. You never look good trying to make someone look bad. You know, you should tell yourself that every day. So if it's got premise and I think the guy's been a dick about something, I'll say it. You guys know me, especially when I've been on the Vino. 18 degrees is too much for me. 40 degrees, I was absolutely shredded. It was so bad, so bad. Ghost was choices have consequences. Choices have consequences. There was a line that he did. Something about people getting left behind. I think that's what I used to say. As a tech, how do you compare what you do compared to Negative Airsoft? Now, I might be wrong about this, but I would say he brands himself more towards the typical airsoft teching, what you think of, like pulling gearboxes apart, doing this, that, and the other, doing all these mods, probably some of them not needed. That's how I feel like he is. Now, I would try and put myself in a different bracket because I'm not just doing run of the mill, and I'm not saying he is. You have to be very careful answering this, but how can I get through? I've got the answer in my head. I just don't know how to get it across. I just think his way of teching is very different to mine. He's probably more run of the mill tech stuff. I'm very niche, maybe. Who knows? I'm trying to be I'm trying to be diplomatic here. Again, I've got nothing really bad to say about him. Just we're two very different people. So, with the things you have been through, both work and personal, you have done amazing to be where you are now. Thank you, appreciate that, Brian. Where do you prefer cool looking? What do you prefer? Cool looking guns like a full wooden furniture AK or tactical practical stuff? I can appreciate a wooden AK, but I'm probably the tactical practical stuff if I'm completely honest with myself. But for the heat wave, I was scared because I get nosebleeds, so I stayed inside my class one time. The teacher said go outside, so I said I think I'm allergic to the sun. I used to get nosebleeds a lot in school, like a lot every day, and then all of a sudden it just stopped, and I have no idea why. Opinion on the Uzi Pro. Uzi Pro. Opinion on the Uzi Pro. As in like the Northeast Uzi? The Northeast Airsoft one? Have you seen the Crytek GB Vector in person yet? No, and I will not buy one because the videos that I've watched on it, I mean, you tend to have a pretty keen eye when you've been doing it as long as I have, especially the niche stuff. And yeah, it's not good. It doesn't even have the proper vector system anymore. Honestly, the KWA Vector was the goat for the Vector GBV. And all they had to do was copy that system and put a new package on it, and they didn't. And now they've got this system that isn't even the proper vector system like the KWA one. Just don't make sense. You ain't getting my money. Don't get me wrong, Makarov was bad, but he was better in Modern Warfare 2 original 2009 than he was in the 2023. Yeah, I probably agree with that. Any update on this press testing? Hopefully coming soon. Again, just so many avenues for me to knock things off the list. Not enough for me to go around. Appreciate the honesty, bro. No worries. I'll always be honest. Again, like I say, not got a problem with him. Do I agree with the stuff that he does most of the time? Probably not. But again, I'm one of them people that if you don't agree with what somebody's, I don't agree with him, but if you don't like what somebody's doing, or you have a difference in opinion, people have to go on the internet and scream it from the hills and make hate groups and stuff. Just don't watch the content. So I try and stay positive, especially I want to, not to the extreme that people have done in the past, but I'd rather project and promote positivity rather than negativity, because the last thing Airsoft needs is negativity. We don't need any more toxicity, do we? I appreciate the wooden AK, especially now my LCT with full Zenit outer is now about 5 kilograms a year. Wouldn't believe that. It was stayed, not stated. Yeah, I understood. I think what you might be trying to say about Luke is his customer base covers a much broader spectrum of the more average player base, and he could do high-end stuff, of course, but high-end stuff is what you do. Yeah, you probably said that much better than what I did. Yeah, it's he's very broad in like all the AG stuff. I imagine I'm very niche, GBRs, MTWs, stuff like that. I don't do much MTWs. Is probably what I'd like to. Again, those MTWs that I did for Empire, very nice builds. My one's very nice. It performs absolutely astonishingly. It's so quiet, but it just hasn't got the theatrics of an MWS. It's just it's just a bit boring in comparison. Have you played a Senes? Not sure what that is. The higher end stuff is what you mean. Yeah, got that. Just a question: if you use the MP5 in Airsoft, is it quite with a suppressor or louder? If you use the MP5 in Airsoft, depends what you use. So an electric MP5 is going to perform differently to one with a HPA engine in it to a GBB. You can make a HPA MP5 extremely quiet. AEG, most of the noise is coming from the gearbox. Although you could reduce the sound. GBB, it's all noise, so it's all theatrics. Super Nintendo. Oh yeah, I have a Super Nintendo in the cupboard in the other room. Was it the the SNES, not the NES? The one that was grey. It was grey and it had the big cassettes. I've still got it in there. It had Duck Hunt with it. But I don't think Duck Hunt will work on newer technology TVs now, will it? So once the new spec TVs came in, Duck Hunt on the Super the NES or the SNES, NES, whatever it was, and Time Crisis. I used to love Time Crisis on the PlayStation, but then the TV technology moved away and it just wouldn't work. I don't go Airsoft, but was there a time you were going around just playing Airsoft and saw a grenade and thought, well, shit? Not really. The only time you need to worry about finding a grenade is when you're on like a military, like an MOD training site, and you'll see some pretty suspicious looking stuff. But if they've done the brief correctly and you were listening like you were meant to, they'll tell you to leave that alone and just let somebody know. I mean, most of the time it's training munitions, but again, those can cause injury. You've earned yourself a subscriber. I appreciate that. Thanks very much. Again, this is not something that I normally do. I just thought it'd be nice to have an evening just chatting some stuff. It'd be nice for you guys to be able to chat back, but I'm not sure how that would be able to be made. So it was the best back in the days. It was. It was the big grey one. Maybe not. Maybe the NES, not the SNES. I can't quite remember. I get it wrong. Um, Nintendo 64. Oh, absolutely astonishing. GoldenEye, and more importantly, the one that people don't talk about as often as GoldenEye, Perfect Dark. Perfect Dark was an astounding game. God, I haven't thought about Perfect Dark for well over a decade. And obviously PlayStation 1 and everything else. Going to NAF this year? Probably not. I was speaking to Kenny at Empire about this, about us going down there and like running the stall like we did at Shift Your Rifts. But I think a lot of people are not too happy with the NAF because of all the pricing stuff and everything like that. So thanks MMC for subscribing. Very welcome to stick around. I hope you find some, value in the content that I put up on YouTube. I also agree, Twitch chat and mess with a gun. That's what I'm sure I used to do it. I can't remember what I used to do it on. I definitely did. I was building gearboxes, so perhaps that didn't flag it for the MDR. I think the last live stream I did. What's something you are excited about with your current arsenal that might not be worth making a video about for whatever reason? That is a good question. God, these questions are brilliant. What is something you are excited about with your current arsenal that might be worth making a video about for whatever reason? God, you stumped me there. Something that I'm excited about. Yeah, I do have one. So this product might not ever come to fruition. This is literally an idea at this point, but talking to a friend of mine who's very good in pyrotechnics, a way to have tag rounds or something very similar, but in the space of an APS Cam 870 shell. You imagine tag rounds, more affordable, but you can shoot them from a pump action shotgun, and they're a lot cheaper, and they go in a small package. This is something that we were spitballing the other day. He had the idea for it. This isn't my creation, and I was like, "This sounds amazing," but I can just see it now getting banned everywhere. But even if it was banned everywhere, I'd still want some just to mess about with. Like Terry Crews tag rounds for your shotgun. That's going to be ace if we can pull that off. I also agree. Twitch chat. Got that one. Got that very good question. What would you class as the best riff for top budget £300? I don't know now because the prices of everything's changed, hasn't it? 300 quid. 300 quid, best riff. These best riff for what? I think, a gas pistol or SMG is going to be really fun for you, but you've also got the downside of all the magazines for anything gas are expensive. Do you just want a good performing electric gun? In terms of that, back when I had Bespoke, we had those double eagle AEGs in, which had the MOSFETs in, which are extremely good and so cheap. Can you pick up the double eagle Noveski MWS for that much? I think it might be a little bit more, mightn't it? But that would be a good buy. But I'm not saying it'd be the best riff, because GBBRs, you can't really classify them as the best riff for newer players, because it's an investment. It is an investment. Your cat just scratched your hand. Luckily mine are locked out there. I had Thomas in my arms earlier, and he fell asleep on my shoulder, and my arm was killing me because all I wanted to do was move, but I didn't want to move him. NAF prices are nuts, and basically outright banning second-hand stalls makes you wonder who is pulling the strings, the game organisers or the shop. When it all becomes about the money, you get out of touch, don't you? I mean, they must earn an absolute fortune from that event. Did they really need to change it, or is it grabbing for more money? This might push other sites. I mean, that Shift Your Rifts event, honestly, if they build on that Shift Your Rifts event, that could get just as big, if not bigger. That was such an astonishing weekend. I didn't even play. I was stuck. I don't want to sound like I was stuck on an Empire stand, but I was on Empire stand all weekend. I didn't go anywhere else. And just the whole feeling of the event, like the the vibe of it was just amazing. Like everyone was having a good laugh, everyone's having a good time. There's nothing bad really that I'd noticed at all. Um, so that might be a good avenue if they do that event next year. Maybe we should go and shoot some people. My favourite portable hand system, Saga Game Gear. I've got a couple of them somewhere. They weren't mine; they were my brother's. But then they just got put in a box, and then I became the owner of it. So yeah, I have two Sega Game Gears somewhere. Where? I don't know. Probably in a box with a load of Game Boys. The tiny tag does it does, doesn't it? I mean, it is an investment in the platform. The shotguns aren't too expensive, but the shells are. But you imagine being able to launch a little mini tag. I don't know what the range would be on it. Probably not as far as a tag round because you haven't got the mass, but it'd be good for clearing rooms when it like and like it shoots into the room and it explodes. We were talking like 209 primer type of loudness as well. Tie tag, oi mate, from Falklands, what your political stand? Falklands was way before. How old do you think I am? Falklands was way before my time. It's one of them. I am not educated enough to make an opinion on that, unfortunately. Have you ever went to Kimbo in Airsoft or just sniped in one area? I did. At one stage I had two Mac 11s or Mac 10s, Mac 11s, the little calibre ones. I used to run around back when I wasn't in shape, but I just had tons of energy. I used to run around with them. And in fact, at the time, I ran around with two Mac 11s. I had two TM, I think 5.7 pistols. I'm carrying 4 GATs and a grenade launcher using the S Thunder shells. Like I was just nuts, but it was such a good laugh. Before we all go like all geared out and a bit like serious, don't we? So SYR is getting bigger every year. Shifty Rifts, okay. I went last year and it was mostly plain airsoft with a few second-hand stalls, vastly improved this year, and I hope it continues improving. Yeah, you should. It was a brilliant event. Where are you from in the UK? I'm originally from Birmingham, but now I live in Staffordshire, so it's about 30 miles north of Birmingham, not far. Oh my God, Game Gear, yeah. They were huge as well, weren't they? They were like this. I remember it had like a little square box that you used to put onto the machine, and that would light the screen up in the dark because they weren't backlit. If I'm recalling that correctly, I'm pretty sure I am. I can't remember us ever having good games for it though. Perhaps it's a little bit before my time because it wasn't mine. Like I was more Game Boys, so especially back in the day. I mean, Pokemon when it originally came out, I used to smash that on the Game Boy. Hi Ryan, how's it going? Probably going to get off soon because I've got to be up literally in a couple of hours. Big day tomorrow. But I hope that those of you that stayed have enjoyed it. I mean, it's just one of those chat rubbish, not get drunk. Not on a weekday anyway. I think I'm going to shift next year if I can drive by then. Yeah, it's definitely, I think it was about, obviously I'm very northern compared, so sort of 2 hours for me. Do you run a belt or a rig? So I run technically both, but I don't really run anything big on my belt. I've got like one of those very thin belts that has the mollient into it. My rig, I run a very expensive rig, which I just applied to become a product tester for Agilite, and it got accepted. So I'm not sure if that's going to be something that comes to fruition or not. But I run a K19. I think the base vest, the base plate carrier is about £600. Once you've added all the attachments, which I had to get all my gear on, I think it was closer to £1,500. But my whole mind, but I'm not saying that's the way you should go. What I'm saying is my whole mindset behind it was I'm spending all this money on these crazy expensive guns. MWS, you're talking like what, 60, 70 quid a mag. Why am I running cheap gear? And then when I switched to using real gear, especially from a good brand like Agilite, I know you probably won't like it because what's going on with Israel at the moment, but the gear is phenomenal. It's very, very good to the point where it works that well. I mean, I have weighted plates in mine. It is far heavier than what I need it to be. But I like to push myself, and sometimes I push myself a little bit too much. But yeah, I don't think I'll go back to running airsoft rigs again once I've experienced it. So, what are your thoughts on sights at Chronon 2s, for example, 6mm Stormforce? Well, I'm pretty sure I spoke about that pretty recently. It's just giving people the avenue to cheat the chrono. Um, it's very, I think it's difficult as well, because let's say, right, you know, you're going to chrono people on the weight that they use. How do you police it? Unless you're weighing people's BBs, and that takes so much time, especially when you've got a few hundred people on site. It just slows everything down. It goes back to that thing, you've got to kind of believe people being honest. But yeah, when I was last at 6mm, and they were chrono on 2s, and they were making you pull your BBs out of your mag so they could put .2s in. Bear in mind, a lot of people using HPA on that site, so they're going to be dual creeping like crazy if they're running .2s at 350 feet per second. You know, you whack a 4 or a 4.8 in one of those, you're going to be pushing, what, 1.5, 2 joules maybe? It's very backwards. I think they need to get on that, which was my only criticism of that site. But apart from that, the game ran perfectly all day. So go to bed, mate. I will be in a minute. Don't think I'll ever forget the first time I ever used my master mic to clear a room. It was amazing, and the sound it makes. Yeah, I'm a Haley rig to pop. I'm gonna get a Haley rig to pop on the front of my plate carrier. Yeah, I do like the Haley rigs. A friend of mine is gonna give me. He said he was gonna let me have his real one. I did run a couple of the copies to run SMGs. Hello from Romania. Nice to see you. Jezzy's on the setup. Jezzy's on the setup. I might be really stupid here. I hope you are having a wonderful day. Thank you. If you don't mind me asking, what are you talking about? So, if you've just scrolled up on this live stream, it's going to make no sense to you, because I'm an airsoft channel, so I do airsoft stuff. But this is just a random live that I jumped on so people can ask me questions. And I think we've had quite a few people come on that are not related to it. So thanks for dropping by anyway. Appreciate it. Have you got a scope cam yet, so we can see the action footage from your builds? Yes. So I got a scope cam. Did get the slightly higher lens on it at 40mm instead of 25. So I'm hoping, honestly, I've got the scope cam, and I got my new DJI action cam, and I don't know where I've put them. I have no idea where I've put them. So I need to find them first. Can you send me an AAP? I want to a grey one. Can I send you an AAP? Don't have an AAP to send you. Thoughts on HAO MWS parts like their bolts? Never experienced it. I've always heard stories of HAO with their conversion kits. Something wrong with I really wanted one of their 416s, and then people are like, no, it doesn't run very well. You got to have the bolt, and then you've got to put a spacing sticker on the bolt to space it out. And I was like, nah, I'm out. Sorry, I'm not relying on a sticker to center the bolt in the upper. But the other parts, like their rails and such, absolutely phenomenal. If they're bolts or anything like their rails, they'll be very good. I don't think they're that expensive either. I love your AAPS videos. Thanks very much. Sorry if my Yorkshire way of talking is making my messages hard to read. It might be that. It might be that. We're all cut from a different cloth, aren't we, really? Shouldn't sites be measuring joules instead of FPS chronos? Yeah, they were measuring joules, but they're measuring it on a 0.2. So I'm running MWSs. I think that's what prompted my video when I was doing the DIY MPass mod, because I was like, I've got to make sure I'm under the limit. Set my guns, because I hadn't used the Noveski yet, so I was set that because that was running at 1.5 joules. Got everything running on a 0.3 at like 0.9 joules. And then got to the queue, and they're like pulling my 0.3s out of the mag, and I'm like, what are you doing? This is like backwards. Talking from an experience standpoint, but the marshals didn't want to listen. Put 0.2s in my mag, shot through the chrono. They're like, yeah, absolutely fine, you're really low. And I'm like, yeah, because I'm set up for running in 0.3s and you're chronoing me on a 0.2. Like, of course, I'm going to be like 0.7 or 0.8 joules. Like, crazy. Where are you from? I don't want to sound weird, but I love your beard. Thank you. It's got a twinge of ginger in it. But I'm from Birmingham, originally in the UK. but I live north of Birmingham now in Staffordshire. Where are you from, Naya? What is your favourite upgrade on an AAP? Definitely the Loki Hop unit. Loki Hop unit, Slime Mechanics Flamingo, hot rubber, nice barrel. You know, that would be to me, that would be the first things that you should do before you start short stroke and do all that crazy stuff. JHQ Tech, ever thought of upgrading a gas shotgun? We Tech make full steel internals for TM-based shotguns. I have built many gas shotguns over the years. TM stuff. I even dabbled in a bit of like the cheaper Double Eagle, Golden Eagle stuff. So yeah. To be honest with you, I had a what do you call it? What's that weird bullpup one? I forget. KSG. I had a KSG as well, which was very good. But reloading it, I remember running it at the CQB site in Leicester, the jail or the gaol. So I remember running it at that CQB site and changing the shells out. It's behind you and it was really fumbly. I think that was the last time I used it and ended up selling it. But I loved the platform. My 870 I had for a long time. It was all with the GMP gas stock and everything. It was an absolute demon on 0.28s or 0.3s. So yeah, maybe I should build a new one. We'll look at it. We'll see what we can do. I'm half Romanian, half Syrian, but I live in Romania. Well, hello from Birmingham, UK. This is probably really weird if you've stumbled upon this live stream and you come in and you have no idea what we're talking about, but I appreciate it all the same. My dream is to get an AAP and upgrade it myself. It's very much the perfect platform to do that because the amount of parts available, how easy it is to take apart, it's very modular. I would even go as far to say now that AAP is probably more supported aftermarket part-wise than a lot of other branded or other platforms out in the market. Yeah, so if there's anything, I mean, I've got AAPs here. I wish I could show you them, but I can't. YouTube will not allow it. Tried to do it last time, and it got pulled, and there was all kinds of funky stuff going on. So I've got so much stuff as well that I could show people in real time that it probably doesn't make it to a video, but I'm just doing it as I'm talking. Yeah, much like Sniper Mechanic used to do. He's done stuff like that. Does he do it on Twitch? Where does he do it? Or does he record it? Does he do it on Discord, then records it, and then he uploads it to YouTube? I'm not sure. You should get G&G's new bullpup shotgun. Someone else mentioned that earlier. Based on the Airsoft Innovations Flat 10. Would be awesome to see its internals. Yeah, I'm just not sold on G&G. I'm not a massive fan of G&G. Bedtime, mate. All the hackers coming in. They're not hackers. They're just people stumbling up it. If you're ever on YouTube on the shorts and you're flicking through it like that, it's probably just showing up on people's feeds randomly. I don't know why. Can I make another AAP series? What, another pistol? I actually talked to a guy that called me today. He was asking if I would do full AAP builds and put them on the website, which is something I might look at. But you know, if there's enough demand for it, of course. I go on lives and spread love and hopefully make someone's day. I love to give out compliments. Thanks, Naya. Appreciate that. The world needs more people like you. Did we talk about the new G&G MGCR GVVR? Is that the lever action? If it is the lever action, someone did mention it, but I'm not really, like I say, a G&G fan. Go to bed, babe. They're all covered. That's how I came to your live. And I appreciate it, especially if you stuck around. What made you stick around? You've stumbled upon some crazy brummie from the UK talking about something that you've got no idea of. What made you stick around? Let me know. What are your thoughts on the Maple Leaf Crazy Jet barrels? Very good for the price. No, it's an M4 platform. I'm just not sold. I mean, I've dabbled in a couple of the G&G gas stuff, like the pistols. They were absolute rubbish. All of them. None of them are very good. And that SMC9, which was okay, but it was super hot. And it was just a bit weird, wasn't it? It didn't really fit a criteria of what it just didn't make sense to me. Would you say that putting a HPA in all the way that you did is the best instead of getting a HPA adapter? It's cheaper to do a HPA adapter. You'd only go the infinite kit if you've got a big amount of disposable income, and yeah, if you want the features of it stopping on empty, stuff like that. Otherwise, just get an adapter; it will run absolutely fine. How's a crazy cat? Which one, Brian? Talk about Noodle. He's absolutely fine. He's fairly normal now. He's recovered. He has recovered. His eyes no longer look in opposite sides of the room. So I did put the Batman cat helmet on him the other day, and he was just like, "What? What's going on?" Do you only use propane in your GBB guns, and do you think it's the best for UK weather? Yeah, it's the only thing I use. I won't use green gas again. There's too much crap in it. Propane, especially the Coleman stuff. Don't get the blue Rothenberger ones. They're not very good. Coleman's propane. It runs dry, which is good. You need to lubricate your gun, not your gas, because your gas spreads everywhere. It throws lube everywhere, gets on your hot rubber, and it just kills the friction that you need to apply the Magnus effect. That's the very scientific way of calling it hop up. So your lovely voice, and it's calming to me, to be honest. I appreciate that. Appreciate it. It is quite late at night here. I don't know what time is it near you? Here it's about 10 past midnight, so 10 past 12. Any favourite SMGs with large BB capacity? Are we talking gas or are we talking electric? Favourite SMGs with large BB capacity. I did like when I was running the KWA electric stuff. I did like that. I've got a TK45C there, which is converted to HPA, which the mags are 120 rounds. In terms of gas, I think the highest you're going to get is like 50 out of a Glock mag. The MP9s have always been good at 48 rounds. What was the KWA Vector? Was that 48 rounds? Very good. If I could have like an unmolested KWA Vector original one, not that rubbish Crytek's made, I would get one. You know, if I get my hands on the Crytek one, I'll cover it. But I already know I'm not going to be saying great things about it. Do you have any experience with a new keep Crytek Vector? You've certainly was answered that. Oh, that disposable income wish. Well, I have a lot of disposable income, but I also work very hard. I practically work 2 full-time jobs. So if I could live comfortably and have cool shit and not have to work as much as I do, then I'd rather, take it easy, chill in front of the TV. Been watching a new TV show called Dark on Netflix. So I like that, but it's just getting time to watch episodes of it. And One Punch Man, randomly enough, really enjoying that. Gas, so yeah, MP9s, the old KWA Vector's very good. The VZ61 doesn't have a large capacity, but that was pretty cool from KWA. 2:09 AM, so it's pretty early where you are as well. What are you still doing up? Love the vids, mate. Keep them up. TK45 is amazing in Romania. Opinions on CO2 pistols. Does CO2 deserve the hate? Semi-auto pistols, probably yes. Revolvers, you haven't really got much of a choice, so no. I have a CZ Shadow 2 with CO2 mags. It runs flawlessly. Like, if it runs for you, you haven't got to worry about it. Shoots 1 joule, good. If it runs on CO2, it kicks hard, it runs at a joule, and it hasn't broken, then it's a winner, isn't it? I'm not the biggest fan of ASG because they had this vendetta against me when I started Bespoke. What was his name? Paul Wignall or something like that. He was working at ASG. I don't think he works there anymore, so I can say it. But yeah, he had this vendetta against me because of another airsoft shop which I used to work at. They didn't want me buying stuff. They cancelled my accounts with various vendors. And yeah, since that, I bought a Dan Wesson recently, but apart from that, there's not really much ASG make that I'm interested in, to be honest, which is a shame. I'm going to switch to propane as soon as I can get my hands on some pistol mags that don't sound like a lit pyro when they have gas in. It depends what brand of. As long as it seals fine, you should be okay. With propane, do you have any options for blue or black gas equivalents? How would you adjust for temperatures? So propane, I run it all year round. I'm pretty lucky. Most of my guns are okay, but end passes, downgrade valves for GBB stuff. Most of the platforms can have some kind of version of that. Is there a version of black gas? Yes, you can go to map gas, which I think is propane and acetylene, which is a higher pressure. It's really like you should be using it in the winter. It's like super propane. I wouldn't run it in anything. Not worth the risk, to be honest. Normal propane's fine for me. What's your level of age teching? I've really only seen your GBB stuff. Ever done DSGs? I've done pretty much everything. Everything you can think of. Electric stuff, all brands, PTWs, CTWs, DTW, training weapons, gas, HPA, did it all spring. I tend to, the thing is, people attach your name and your brand to a certain platform once they know that you work on it. So when I started doing stuff with Aries Strikers, bolt actions in the early days of Bespoke, people were just like, oh, if you want an Aries Striker, you need to go to Bespoke because that's what they specialise in. I didn't specialise in it. It was just, at the time, I kind of fitted into that category and it just worked out well for the business. So I've always managed to get these labels of, oh, this platform, you need to go to such and such, or this platform. I can turn my hand to absolutely any of it, any brand, I can work on it. But I tend to specialise in stuff that I find interesting. MWS's gas blowback stuff. It's interesting to me. So I think if it's interesting you to, and this is how I got into airsoft and teching and making stuff, custom, all that palaver, just having such an obsessive interest in it, that will drive you forward more than anything. So if you have an obsessive interest in something and you want to turn it into a job, you can very much do that, but you've got to be obsessive about it. You've got to, if you're thinking about it, you know, and pushing yourself in it, in all aspects of your life, you will do it. The obsession and the passion for it will drive you, and you'll pick stuff up that you won't even realize you're picking up because it's, you know, again, it's like a pleasure to do it. So I hope that's coming through the right way. I'm not too sure. With propane, do you have any options for blue? I think I've answered that one. These comments are like on my phone, are just like randomizing. I'm up late to spread the love online. Sorry, but I'll leave you to spread some more love to others, or like sub. How does that sound? Appreciate that, Naya. Come and drop in anytime you want. Open to all. You're all welcome to stop by. The content might not make much sense to you, but if you want to come and say hi every now and again, come and say hi. How are we looking on the trial MWS MPass? I've already answered that at the start of the live stream because we're going almost 2 hours now. Just very soon, keep an eye on the Discord. We'll get it sorted. Again, just a lot of stuff going on in my life. It's just trying to find the spare time to do anything. Ever tried Daytona guns? Yes. Or the Tippmann M4. So it was actually a airsofter called Flo. Now she sent me some bits that I was looking at doing, and she sent a Daytona AK to me. And when it got to me, it didn't really run very well. The AK it was fitted into, probably because of the recoil, was very rickety. And the idea was I was going to have it off her. Then I decided against it. It just, I think it was not long after I bought the TM-AKM, and I got TM-AKM with a gas mag, and it's just like blah, 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 absolutely like running like an absolute nail driver. And it was fun to use. I got the Daytona gun, and it had a lot of recoil, but it didn't really work all that well. I was like, well, the AKM is just better, so that's what I stuck with. God, he's a legend. Are you saying that about me? When you have a passion about something, it makes you want to know all the ins and outs. Yes, and I will do this on again, this is probably why I've either got autism or ADHD or all of the above. I will find certain things on the internet and go so vastly into them and researching down to the depths. We just dropped out and then dropped back in. Whether it be like a different hobby, like one day I found videos about FPV drones, and I went down this massive rabbit hole for days just researching all this stuff, finding out all the ins and outs of every aspect of it. And I was like, right, I need to stop. I've got too many hobbies as it is. have you tried helical spiral gears, like the Linux spiral? Like, yes, I have. Uh, they have their uses, but I've never really found one for me. I've always just stuck to normal gears. Helical gears tend to be very noisy. Some aspects and some platforms they're not, but like Systemas and stuff, they have helical parts on their gears. They work very well. Do you support LGBTQ? I think I've already answered that. Yeah, I mean, I'm all for everything. People doing whatever they want. I don't think people need labels at all. You're autistic as well, so yeah, very much. And ADHD. You just described the ASD, special interest, ADHD, hyperfocus. Yeah. Again, I have just always ploughed through life. I've never been diagnosed with any of this stuff. I've never even, to be honest, it's probably only recent years since I've been in my 30s that I've really spoken to anyone about it. I thought, to me, it was always just normal. And I always knew I was a little bit different to everybody else, but could never really put my finger on it and sort of like say that's why. Like, I was always just a bit different, and that's why I thought something's just a bit wrong in my head, and that's the way I am. And then you see these videos, it's like YouTube shorts and stuff, and you'll see people and they're talking to a camera and they're describing certain, what do you call it? Not, symptoms. They're describing certain symptoms on a camera, like a video, and they'd be like saying that is like ADHD or autism or whatever like that. And I'm like, oh, well, I do that. So is that something everybody does? And then someone said to me like, no, no, everybody doesn't do that. So yeah. It's one of them things. It's always good to talk about it. I don't mind it. But I think I'm going to sign off there because we've got 20 past 12. Got my ADHD diagnosis as an adult a few years ago in the late 20s. It's one of the things, isn't it? Like I say, let's say I went somewhere, got tested for it, and they said, right, yeah, you've got it. Okay, what happens now? It's like when people were getting like sick after like COVID started settling down, people are like, oh, you had a COVID test. You might have COVID. Right, if I've got COVID, what's the difference? Stay away from people. I was going to do that anyway. So I don't think, unless someone says, right, you've got this, that, and the other, here's a magic pill and it'll get rid of that. Well, isn't that really getting rid of like what makes you you? I don't know. Maybe we'll know more about this stuff in future, but there's a lot of adult diagnosis happening recently. Yeah, I think from people like my age, we just got on with it. We didn't need to be told. I mean, you look back at years like when I was at school, and I was like, oh yeah, that probably is a bit of a red flag that something was going on with me. But it was always the loud, naughty kids, and people say you can't tell kids they're naughty these days. Well, back then they were naughty, they were loud, they were really disruptive, and those were the kids that would get the diagnosis of like ADHD and ADD and whatever this, that, and the other. Where the people that weren't causing trouble didn't get any of that because you weren't causing trouble, and that's the way it was. I was going to get some spirals, bevel gears and pinion gears for an upcoming project, but the Linux pinion gear is an O-type at the motor, which was actually a D, so no hope. There'll be parts out there, surely. We all know you're not going anywhere. I will be in a minute, promise you. Stimulant medication for ADHD is literally a life changer. Stimulant medication, what's that? The only thing that really bothers me that I do is procrastination. Chronic. Sometimes it's so bad. I'll sit, in front of the computer and just scroll YouTube shorts or whatever and end up doing absolutely nothing. So that's something that I'd like to fix, but you could put an O on a D. You just need Loctite. Have you tried any of the Bugatti Airsoft parts? Nope. Spicy German stuff. No, I haven't. We're all on the spectrum. We probably all are. Doesn't get rid, but it makes life far, far easier. I mean, if it takes the ADHD away, is it going to save me money, like buying stuff late at night? Some people, you tell them this is this and this is that. We're where our brains ask why. So people tell you this, that, and this is this, and this is that. Where our brains ask why. Not sure what that means there. Stimulants, think Adderall or something. When you get tested for ADHD, like me, and you have most productive last 2 years of your life after stimulant medication or targeted coping skills, definitely get tested if you think you may be. How do they test it? They work the opposite way to an ADHD brain. Hi Naya, you're back. We ask why, that's how we go down the rabbit hole. Been way happier, better able to cope, made more money since ADHD treatment. Hi Sabrina. Good evening. Love the lampshade. It's not even on. Like that's the normal fixture you get in a house, yeah? So you put a lampshade on and this would be like a bedroom. Now what you can't see here is two square light panels that are like this big that are sat above the bench. There's two of them. And you look at the way it's wired up because I did it all myself, but it is safe. And it looks really like janky, but the light is absolutely amazing. And that's why when I do the top-down videos on the channel, the lighting is key when it comes to videos. Love the lampshade, yeah. Silicone booking or regular booking. Don't know. Depends. Some are better than others. Again, I think silicone can be a bit more grippy, but I don't think it's as hard wearing. I do actually have somewhere in an envelope because the Flamingo bookings are silicone based. There's an envelope somewhere where there's two Flamingo rubbers, but they're not silicone based, they're rubber based, so I need to test them. Can you show me them muscles? I don't think I've got like muscles. I am quite a big bloke, so you're probably not gonna see any like definition. But yeah, it's probably hidden under like layers of fat. But I use my arms in my day job, so like when you're pushing, if you think you've got like a long metal rod and you've got it behind the panel of a car and you're pushing like the damage out, it takes, like, I have become so much stronger just in this job, which I never thought I would, compared to I've never been in a gym, but I've always been quite like a stocky bloke, so this is like, I never thought the live stream would be going down this route when I started it. There's a computer-based test. It's like a shit computer game. Test your memory and attention and rates you versus normative folks. Attentiveness and inattention. Do you think coffee, energy drinks, or caffeine in general? Yes, I do. Do they tend to chill you out rather than give you energy? If yes, that's the ADHD stimulant effect. That is a good question now. I don't really know. I don't know. At one time, I was drinking when I was commuting down to London every day. That sneak stuff, which is like you put it in water, there's no sugar in it, but it's just a high dose of caffeine. And that stuff used to wake me the fuck up. Like, it was just like, but I needed it because, and it did help me because then I was driving 3 hours to work, 3 hours back every day. I would say it's probably one of the key things that stopped me like falling asleep behind the wheel of the car. So, hi James, been a minute. How you doing? How are you doing? I'm not supposed to call you that fat and furious for your name, but I'm good. How are you? So we talk about ADHD. It's just something. It's just a conversation that come up. We weren't initially talking about it. Damn, you got built-in guns for hand. Built-in guns for hand. I'm not sure what that means. Hand. I do have quite large hands, but yeah, I've always been like a big bloke. So I don't go to the gym. I don't really work out. Don't do any exercise like that. It's all just natural, baby. Also, ADHD is as heritable as eye colour. If you have it in your family, you may have, I honestly don't know, because we're very, very old school traditional family. I don't know of anybody, but it's never come up in conversation before. Working on cars is a good workout. Yeah, trust me, I've been, and I'm a heavy bloke. I'm not like massive in terms of, overweight. I don't think so, but I'm probably like 17, 18 stone. So I'm quite a big bloke, but I'll be putting all my force into pushing the damage out of the panels, and it's just, especially some of these cars now are built of aluminium, which you think that's softer than steel, but it's not. It's actually a lot stronger. Look how kind he is reading every comment. Of course, I always do it. I read all the comments on my normal videos as well, so just go down and scan them. So again, this is something that I don't normally do live streams, but perhaps I'll start doing it. It's nice to chat with people. Saves being stuck in the house by yourself all day with the cats. Umarex Bretta PMX Dewey SMG, any good, you know? I've heard they're meant to be good. They're meant to be all polymer based in terms of construction. I do want to pick one up, but they're always out of stock. You look like be a great father. I appreciate that. I'm pretty good with my nephews, I think. I like to think I am. I'm the youngest of 3 brothers, but I'm also the tallest and probably the strongest of the 3 brothers. So when I was little, my brothers used to like not beat me up in the sense of like causing actual bodily injury, but that brotherly thing growing up. You always used to be the little runt, but when it got to a point where I overtook the middle brother, and I was beating him up, so it was quite funny. Not bad, thanks, mate. It's Alex. If you didn't know, worked together at Bespoke for a bit. Oh, hi, Alex. How's it going? Yeah, I do remember you, mate. But obviously, with a name like that, I'm not going to know it's you. So, how you doing, Alex? Have you tried the Toxin MWS trigger box? Not yet, but they have sent me one, but it's for the MCX, which is kind of sucks. But I was hoping to get one in an MWS and to test it out. Seems like the new one best in the market. Don't drink coffee or energy drinks. I try not to. Honestly, I try not to. But with obviously the hours that I do in my day job, the hours I do when I get home, I mean, this is still an early night for me. I'm normally up to the early hours. It's like my one vice. Like I get to work, I normally give it an hour. So you let the adenosine out. Generally, I'm not a biologist or anything, but from what I read online, let the adenosine come out of your body naturally. Give it an hour when you wake up, and then drink some coffee. I don't have mounds of it. 3 maximum in a day, I'd say, for a coffee. And usually I drink like no sugar pop, like even like this Iron Brew that I'm drinking right now, it's the no sugar stuff. So what is wrong with coffee? Nothing wrong with coffee. That's what makes the world go round. That means you have big muscle and they're past. I think I've pulled here, lads. Hi, sorry for my English. Your English is fine. You got cats. I do have 4. So I originally have 2 that I got originally, and then I've got 2 rescues. So I've got Loki and Trish, which are brother and sister, and then I've got Thomas, which was kind of a rescue, and then Noodle, which was very much a rescue. He was dumped in a plastic bag. They cut all his whiskers off. He was really young, and his eyes pointed outwards like this. Now he's like one of the healthiest cats you've ever seen. He's still a bit skittish around some people, but yeah. It's one of them things. Appreciate live stream, no problem, Julius. It's one of them weird, wacky things that I just decided to do. I was like, I'll just put a camera on. My idea was to be talking to you while I'm doing stuff, but because I didn't expect people to be commenting so much, I've just spent 2 hours reading comments. So, welcome to the new ADHD group. Yeah, that ain't going away in the comments of the normal videos now, is it? Coffee can make anxiety worse. I don't think I suffer with anxiety, to be honest. Used to before. I remember being on an airsoft site, Copel down. I don't know if it was an anxiety attack, but I had something. I don't know what caused it. I haven't had anything similar like that since. So ADHD is still heavily stigmatized. Check it out, bro. You only stand to get better if it turns out you do have it. I probably do, but again, I'm open with it. We just started talking about it. I have anxiety not drinking coffee. Probably the same as well. I need my morning coffee. Hi, mate. Hey, the name is accurate, don't you think? I hope things are better for you now since I left that place and my current job. It's like a breath of fresh air. Well, Alex, you know how it got. There's no bad blood there between us, but I needed to move on. I needed to progress. And as you know, after I left Bespoke, within that first year, being on a really high wage for what it was, compared to what I was used to. It really did turn my life around. So again, I don't have that business anymore that I put like 6-7 years of my life into, and I do look at it sometimes. I'll see snippets of what they're doing at Bespoke, and I'm like, it's just not Bespoke anymore. It's just an airsoft company. It doesn't have the personality which I'd like to think that I injected into it. So, but I understand you. I have a younger brother, and he's pretty rough at me when we play fight. Jeff Tron Gate 238 or Perrin for the best MOSFET. I don't know. I've used a lot of gates. I haven't used a Dreftron before. T238 meant to be very good. I hear they're making the new MOSFETs for the MDR for Silverback. But I can't imagine you go wrong with any of them, to be honest. I used a lot of gates just because at the time that's what what was available. Mushroom coffee. Mushroom coffee. Is that a thing? JDHD. I used to work at McDonald's. I used to work at McDonald's before I got fired. That's a weird first comment, Kenny. I have almost 20 cats. I rescue them because people throw a cat on the street a lot in Romania and abuse them, and I rescue them. Well, hats off to you if you can do that. I would love to rescue more. I just don't have the time and space to do it. I recently had two. My ex-partner came round because she worked at vets, and there was 3 abandoned kittens that were I think they were 4 weeks old. Imagine, you're not really meant to have them away from the mothers till like 7-8 weeks. So they were tiny. They were like this. And she brought them over and she ambushed me with them, to be honest. And I picked this cat up, and this cat was beautiful. It was a female, and she had these black lines on her face. So she looked just persistently angry, and I thought it was really funny. And I'm holding this little kitten that's really small, and she climbed up and she went to sleep on my shoulder, and I had to keep telling myself, no, I can't do any more. Thought it was enough. You're obsessed with ruining people's coffee addiction, Scooby. Big love to people that save animals. I sometimes I think I prefer animals to people, but not all animals. But yeah, because some animals can be cats can be assholes, to be honest. Yes, people have animals have a big heart. Yes, that's awesome. Yeah. Have you ever thought of playing airsoft? It will help with your ADHD. That's very funny, Brian. Cheers always. Great chatting about airsoft stuff. Have a good night. See you later, GHQ. Thanks for dropping by. I'm going to wrap it up in a minute anyway. I'm going with the gates line for my upcoming Donor Defense Risk 3 build. You can't go wrong with it, really. Yeah, I hear airsoft teching is a great hobby for people with ADHD. It probably does make sense, to be honest. Seem happy now with more energy. It's completely changed, especially since you worked so hard to make what it was. Without going into details publicly, I won't shop there. Well, it's one of them things, isn't it? Life changes. You just got to keep moving forward. You still upgraded AirP one. I was literally talking to a guy on the phone about it today, so that might be a possibility moving forward. Nothing as yet, though. One more. Have you tried brushless motors, and if so, what's your preference? I do have a brushless motor over there from T238 they sent me for the MDR stuff. They wanted me to cover it, and then of course never came to fruition. Peace, love and guns. Thanks, Jaeger Precision. Thank you for dropping by. I'm gonna give it 5 minutes and I'm signing off. And I have a mutant deaf cat. They throw her out because she was black and had a little orange. Yeah, people don't like black cats, do they? It's like some weird superstition stuff. But Loki's black. You can actually see him. Obviously, it'd be difficult for you not knowing airsoft, but on a couple of videos ago, I was doing these 3D printed things for a video, and you can see Loki in that video wearing a Batman mask. I printed a Batman mask and put it on him, and he looks absolutely astonishing because he's all black. But yeah, I'm going to sign it off there. I'm going to give it a couple of seconds just for the comments to bleed through. In fact, I can see them on there quicker than this one. I have mutant death. They got one. Yeah, man. Can't remember if I showed you, but I got your M14 jewelry running like a beast now. Real Vietnam bayonet. Sling and stock on the wooden one now. Wicked. Your favourite riff you own? All of the above. MWS's probably. I do like the Toxic MCX. The Spear LT. I've just strapped a short dot onto it, and it's gonna be, yeah, it's gonna be my new main battle rifle, I think. Sign off soon. 45 minutes later. I know! You keep commenting, so I keep engaging. You should try the Paragon Armory brushless T238 base with a custom ESC that reduces start time to 3 ms. I don't really deal with electric stuff now, so it's probably not something I'm going to look at. I think I do have 1 or 2 electric guns left. So one's a custom Calibre QRF Mod 3, which what I'm going to do is I'm going to tart that up and I'm going to sell it. And then the other one's a PP19, which is the wrong type of brushless motor for the one I've got. So, top bloke, speak soon. See you later, Brian. I rescued him. He's a blue Russian. We rescued a Russian blue called, when we got him, he was called Galvatron. If you know Transformers, you'll know where that's from. But we rescued a Russian blue, and I changed his name to Baloo, B-A-L-O-O. I think it's a Jungle Book, is it? But we used to call him Blue, so Baloo Blue. And he got attached to me, so we rescued him because they couldn't find a home for him, or this family that had him didn't want him anymore. And he used to wake up every night and he'd hold my neck like this, and every night he used to sleep on my chest. And he was a huge cat. And I remember waking up thinking something was wrong because of the pressure on my chest, and then just realizing it's a big Russian blue cat. Nothing about real sword returning. Not heard anything about that, Daniel. Have a good night, mate. If you want, should have a catch up at some point. Yeah, just drop in. I'll do some more live streams soon. 5-minute countdown, 45 minutes. Right, I'm going now. Thank you all for tuning in. See the viewers like pop up and down. I wasn't expecting loads of viewers anyway. I'll probably be doing more of these pop-up things every now and again. Hopefully, the next time I do one, I can actually do some work while I'm doing it, and I haven't just got caught. It's good to have a conversation. If you guys know me, I love chatting about my hobby. If you meet me in person at an event, you'll know I'll stand there and chat to you the same. So, see you, Daniel. Love Black Cat, they're the cutest. And in Romania, they think that they are bad luck. Yeah, it's one of them things, isn't it? So thanks all for tuning in. Now, I hope you stick around. We'll see you in the next one. Good luck with the cat rescues, and we'll see you all soon. Chill live streaming equals best live streams. Appreciate that. It was a fun stream. Cheers for the answers. We must be the same age. Probably. Yeah, I'm 34. People tend to think I'm older than that. People tend to think I'm in my 40s. One of my ex-partners, I took her to, is just a quick story before I go. One of my ex-partners, bear in mind at the time I was in my 20s, I took her to Curry's because we was going to get her a laptop because she was going to uni. And the bloke come up to me at Curry's and he says, so what will your daughter be using it for? I was like, you what? He's like, what will your daughter be using the laptop for? I was like, first of all, if she told you she's going to uni, she was like 19, 20 years old, and you think I'm her dad, how old do you think I look? Like I was 24 at the time. Like, what the fuck, bro? I'm like, this guy, obviously, he knew he'd messed up in Curry's, bless him, and he did really look after us after that. But yeah, I always seem to get told that I look older than what I am, but maybe I'm just aged because of all the hard work that I do. Night, guys. I'm going to leave it there. I'll leave you that weird story as a snippet. So, okay, I'm going now. Also, story time. Well, it's just my style. Let's keep it going. I can never sign up live streams when I go onto these podcasts with people. I just keep talking. So I'm going to call it there. I'm going to call you out and say I'm actually going now. So thanks for tuning in. We'll see you in the next one. Pick a day and we'll do this regularly, and we'll just chat shit and not drink alcohol because it's midweek. Enjoy your life. Hopefully you come to the live streams now. And yeah, we'll see you in a future one now. Thanks for dropping by. See you later, guys. Thanks for dropping in. This one lasted 2 hours, 20 minutes longer than the last one. So thank you all. Have a good night. And we'll see you soon in the next video where hopefully Bench will be back on the video. See you later.